Every Batman needs a Robin, and we know the best obvious wide receiver twos on teams. But which ones are the best sleepers in fantasy drafts this season? First of all, rarely do under the radar wide receiver two breakouts come from players on bad offenses. It's just tough to score enough fantasy points in those bad environments to be relevant. So, to help determine which offenses are expected to be good, which are expected to be bad, we have Sportsbook's implied team total per game on the y axis. Obviously, some offenses will underperform, some will overperform their preseason expectation, but it's a good starting point to help identify some of the best fantasy scoring environments. Second, average draft position for every single team's wide receiver two based on ADP this fantasy draft season. This is all 32 teams' second drafted wide receiver. Now, the market is actually pretty efficient here. Most of the early drafted wide receiver twos, T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, are number one good players, number two on good offenses, and we trend downwards. But there's a handful that stick out. Let's talk about them. Emeka Egbuka, number one, this guy's just good at football. He dominated at Ohio State. Camp reports are glowing. Apparently, Chris Godwin hasn't even started jogging yet. Jalen McMillan is going to miss significant time with a neck injury, and there's no elite tight end to compete with for targets. Egbuka has ran 9 of his 14 routes from out wide in the preseason, but I do expect him to be predominantly more in the slot during the regular season, which is a good thing because Baker Mayfield targeted slot receivers at the 5th highest rate in the league last season and number 1 in fantasy points to the slot in 2024. Baker Mayfield. The Bills have the highest implied team total this season, so if you want to be in on Keon Coleman, this should probably be your reason. He averaged 1.8 yards per route last season, which ranked 6th among rookie wide receivers, so not elite, not bad, pretty good. I do get the volume concerns though. The Bills had the 8th highest called run rate last season. They'll continue to be one of the most run-heavy teams in the league. Josh Allen is a bit of a one-man show, but Coleman does fit the mold of a potential breakout. The concern with Rashad Bateman is similar to that of Keon Coleman. Ravens' 3rd highest in called run rate last season. So much of that offense is just Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. But he's coming off a career best season and is just a cheap, affordable piece in what's expected to be the 2nd best offense in the NFL. Let's have some fun. Let's go a little down the board to Denver. Marvin Mims. Sean Payton and the Broncos traded up in the 2nd round of the 2023 draft to select Marvin Mims, and then have barely used him. But when he's been on the field, he's been really good. Here is receiving yards over expected leaders among wide receivers over the last 2 seasons for players who have ran less than 500 routes. Marvin Mims 3rd, and our old friend Keon Coleman 6th among really good company. Gonna break the rule of good offense and go way down to Alec Ayomanor. I was on the sideline at the combine. I saw this guy with my own eyes. He was just smooth. I love Calvin Ridley this season, but outside of him, the target competition is pretty non-existent. 32-year-old Tyler Lockett and Van Jefferson. And the training camp reports are great. Give me Ayomanor in an offense that I think will be better than expected.